Buddy, and I do apologize for the delay on this video. I know that the third trailer for Yamato Chapter 4 has came out like a month ago. I've hardly been home in that last month. I've been all over the place, so I do apologize for that. But I'm going to go ahead and take the time today and explain to you what I see, as usual. So we're going to do our typical thing. We're going to run through it once, and then I will break down what I see.
母の名に恥じぬ人になってもらいたい。イスカンダル最後の王族として。
無理。そんな資格、私にはない。
アースの大地は必ず守り抜く。目標、ガルマン星。
サーシャ・イスカンダル古代、歴史をつなぐただ一人の存在。時の輪の結び目なんだ。
人生に近道はない。何を選び取るかは自分で決めることができる。
今互いに信じ合い、サーシャと心を重ねられるのは古代さん、あなただけです。なぜボラーの言いなりになるようなこと。
ウラリアの魔女。
ラリアの魔女。
数多くの同胞を犠牲にして得たチャンスだ。外すなよ、ラジェンドラ。
So there's a lot to unpack here. So the first thing I noticed is this scene right here. So we've got Desler and we've got Sasha, and this is almost certainly on Gallman. In the original 1980 Be Forever Yamato, which this is based on, again, there are very strong elements of both 1980 Yamato and season 3 of Yamato, 1983. What I'm seeing here is remnants of that, because Gallman was famously known to have a planet that shared its orbit that looked a lot like Iskandar, and Desler called that planet Starsha. So that might actually be the planet that we're looking at here. So Sasha's mother is the namesake of this planet that they're looking at right here. And I don't really know what they're talking about, but it kind of sounds like Desler's asking something of her, and she doesn't want to do it.
スカンダル最後の王族として。
無理。そんな資格、私にはない。
She clearly doesn't want to do it. Whatever it is, she doesn't want to do it. I can only speculate, actually, at what it is that she's upset about. Maybe he's asking her about, to fulfill her mother's legacy, perhaps. Maybe he's asking if she wants to stay with him. Whatever it is, she's really upset about it. So it's definitely something major. I don't really know at this point what it is. So I'm just going to kind of move on from that. But it's very, very clear just from this trailer that Sasha Iskandar Kodai is really going to be a focal point of these next set of episodes. So the next thing we're seeing here is we've got Yamato and a couple of Gamelan warships fighting together. Presumably they're fighting the Bolars. I can't really think of anybody else that they'd be fighting this strongly at the moment. And the incoming fire that I'm seeing does not look like Darium to me, so I'm going to say it's probably the Bolars they're fighting right now. That was going on quick. Yeah, that's the case. So that was Bolars. So let's go back here for a second, though. So we've got Alphaz here again with the creepy little girl, and we got Tsubasa, right? And he's probably what? Let's say he was born in 2200. And this is probably late 2207, if not 2208. This might actually be 2208 at this point. So I think he's probably second grade. I'm gonna say he's probably second grade at this point. And we know that he's been a friend to that girl and has stood up for her. Not so much because he likes her, he definitely doesn't, but because he doesn't like people who are bullies. I mean, he even said in the last set of episodes, I was just doing what Dad did. Dad didn't tolerate bullies. So whatever it is that's going on here, obviously it's pretty serious, and he's able to get Alphaz to help him. Whether that is a serious thing of humans coming after them, which is what I'm hoping it's not, and what I am hoping it is, and knowing Alfred's story from the original, I'm gonna guess that it's something Darium themselves did, and Alphaz is turning against them, or at least turning against some of them, or something like that. That there's something that happened, whether it was with the resistance or that Darium leader, whatever it was, that it sets Alfred's off. And maybe Tsubasa is able to use that and have them help or something. I don't know. Okay, now that was clearly a battle between the Bolars and Gamelons. That's a Gamelon warship right there. That's a flagship. Okay, we've got a bunch of them over here elsewhere as well. You got the Gamelon's red fire going out. You got Bolar's green fire coming in, so it's very distinctive. But this is clearly a huge space battle. I'm actually looking forward to seeing more of Admiral Dietz and Captain Flacken and Berger and all of them. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing them again. I absolutely love the UX-01. I absolutely love Captain Flacken. I also have a soft spot for Dietz as well, so this will be interesting. Okay, so there we go. There is Ram again, and they're presumably on the planet Birth, and that's the fleet taking off or something like that. That's what it looks like to me. Yep, so there we go. See, we got this fleet deploying here. This is Bolar's. That's the Legend Draw. I'm convinced at this point that's the Legend Draw. I don't know if they're going to call her that in this, but I'm going to be very mad if they don't keep that continuity, because that's the Legend Draw, okay? That's Captain Ram or Admiral Ram's flagship, okay?
Sasha
So Yamato here, this looks like the planet Starsha, okay? I can't think of any other world she'd be kicking off from. It's got seas like that. It's got a sky like that. And I think that's what she does. And there's Sasha. God, she really does look like her mother. Oh my gosh. Her eyes are code eyes, but she looks so much like her mother. It's not even funny. She's just beautiful. Okay, that was, I forget her name, the radio operator for Yamato, or one of them, or something like that. I think the girl who in the last set of episodes was down in the sonar room and was acting as Yamato's eyes when they fought that Darium stealth ship, whatever that was. I don't know what she's doing though. Oof. And of course, there is the Gamelon beam weapon. Okay, that's Gauman. That has to be Gauman. All right, so that's probably some kind of Gauman defense system. Oof, and it's going on the Bolar. So clearly, at some point, there's a major attack by Bolar on the Gauman homeworld. Although we already figured that from the last couple trailers that we saw, that there was going to be some kind of major battle, and it looks like that's exactly what's happening here. Oh, Sasha's not happy with her uncle right now. So I wonder actually why she's angry. Actually, it's actually probably not that hard to guess. I think she's upset with him because Yamato is going into some kind of dangerous engagement, and he doesn't want her on board. And, fair enough. I don't blame him for that, considering he lost her once already. As far as he knows at this point, Yuki is dead. He doesn't know she's alive. So I think he's very determined to keep her safe and not make the same mistakes again. Unfortunately, Sasha doesn't see it that way. She wants to stay with her uncle. She loves her uncle. And very obviously, of course, she's upset. I do know that the last thing she says in this trailer is, "Thank you for believing in me, uncle." So I'm going to guess that this is what's going on here. That he doesn't want her on board. He thinks it's too dangerous. She thinks he isn't trusting her. So there's a lot of things going on here that are really okay, and that is actually very interesting. So I'm gonna try to take that frame by frame. So we've got Yamato here. She's obviously going to warp. That's why her engine plume is blue. It always turns blue when she goes to warp. That's Gallman there on the bottom left, and then the planet in the middle is Starsha. I'm just gonna keep calling it that because in the original that's what it was. So we've got her flanked by 2 submarines. We got 1 submarine on her starboard side and 1 on her port side. I know that it's not shown in this shot, but it has been shown in other shots that that's what it is. So I'm gonna go with that. We also have another Gamelan ship here that's just coming into the picture as well. So clearly Yamato has joined up with the Gamelans for something. I'm going to guess there was some kind of deal made between Desler and Kodai. And I'll get into that more when I get to the prediction stage. But at the moment, I think that that Yamato is working with the Gamelans, and there's some kind of mission she's going out on at this point. And again, we got Sasha. There's Doman. I'm actually beginning to like him. It's on and off. I mean, it depends upon the set of episodes. A lot, the second set. So the first set of 4 episodes, and the second set of episodes that were released, so to chapter 2. He was really kind of an ass. I really didn't like him. And then in chapter 3, a little bit as well. Actually, he was, I think, even more of an ass. And then he kind of settled down a little bit. But so we'll see how he is. It just kind of depends. He can be a real jerk sometimes. But Sasha is clearly pointing out something. We do know that Gamelans and Iskandarians have superior eyesight in space. So whatever it is that they're looking at, they can see it. And of course, Kodai is acknowledging that. Come on. So, yep, again, just as I said before, we've got Yamato going down into the dimensional fault with the help of the submarines. At this point, it's probably something that they're pretty good at. I mean, it was a test in 2202, but I think by this point, it's pretty much standard that they can do that. I mean, they did that in 2205 to rescue the Gallman fleet, and the only reason they were able to do that is because they obviously had practice. So pulling Yamato down with this shouldn't be a huge problem. This creeps me out. Obviously, this is Darium. But there's more to it than that. Look at their eyes. Their eyes are what are telling me the story here. This is not just Darium. This is what the Resistance had warned about. And that is that their brains are pretty much been emptied to be filled by Darium. So these almost certainly have been people who've been turned into Darium. And I think that's the only reason their eyes are glowing like that. They're basically like zombies, which is exactly what the Yamato crew had been worried about. Oops. I can't read that. I'm actually gonna need to pull up my phone real quick, actually, and get my Google Translate over the words here, so I can maybe do that. Okay, so that's war damage of some kind. Okay. And then there's another one here. So this is a recruitment poster, clearly. Made by the Resistance, because it's talking about a divided society and it's calling for people to come back. Okay, so that makes sense. And of course they're using Yamato's first officer, who's now got that mark on her. Yeah, it's interesting actually. I actually know this might be a Darium promotion, because we've got things where because everyone's got the Darium mark on them. So I'm not entirely certain what's going on here. Again, we have this situation here where this is obviously on Earth. This looks like probably Paris or something like that. And there's an explosion in the museum. I'm going to guess that it has something to do with... Oh, come on. These guys. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry. I hate that. It looks like that explosion has something to do with these guys. That's what I'm going to guess. It's a lot of cutting back and forth here. This recruitment poster is interesting. Oh, come on. There we go. It definitely looks to me like it's Darium, actually. Everyone's got the little mark, and it's some kind of promotion. I don't know what it is exactly. I'm going to take a wild guess. Oh my gosh, this thing is just going way too fast. This is interesting. So we got Alfred, and this is obviously Yuki. He looks like he's seen better days. He's been beat up. But she's helping him. There's some explosion stuff in the background here. I'm wondering actually if maybe they were at that museum when it exploded. So that could be an interesting fact. Now, couldn't it? Oh my god, stop it. Sometimes this thing keeps on going between full screen and not, and it kind of gets on my nerves. Okay. What is this saying about Sasha here? Okay. Huh. There's the flower thing again. This is the first time we've actually seen it in action wrapping around Yamato. In the trailers, we've always seen it when it's already been wrapped around, but we haven't seen exactly how it's been wrapped around. So you can see it's really... It's just holding her in place, but it's not, it looks like to me, making any move to crush her. That's interesting. It could. We know it could, and we know it has done that. It just looks like it's just holding her in place. So there's obviously some kind of, like, you need to do what we want you to do or else kind of thing, probably. Some kind of exchange of demands, which I'm sure Yamato's crew is going to use to buy time. Would the wave motion gun work against that flower? Probably. But I think Darium would see that coming, because we know that the wave motion gun works in that dimensional vault. It's been proven to work. Unfortunately, it drains Yamato completely. She has no power left. That's why she's got the two submarines on either side of her that can run in that area. So it's a risky move, but I think that might be something they might be doing. I don't know. Oh, wait a second. Again, her engine's running here. She's got an engine plume, so I don't know. Obviously, they're going to be firing the wave motion gun again at this point. I don't know against who, though. I mean, I would think that it actually might be against Darium. It might be against that flower, but... Oof. That happened quick. Hang on. Oh, that was a Gamelan submarine. Okay. So one of the Gamelan submarines, either it was already down there, lying in wait because it knew that the flower would be drawn in, and it decided then to attack as an ambush, or it managed to detach itself from Yamato before the flower wrapped around her, and ended up causing some damage to that flower thing. I think it went down ahead of time. It was already down there and was lying in wait because it knew that Yamato would draw the flower's attention, that Darium would want Yamato, and Yamato was the bait, and this is the trap. That's what I'm thinking. Ooh, that's a nice hit. And again, there is the attack on Bolar. or something like that. This is either a Bowler targeting scope or a Gamelan targeting scope. I think it's a Gamelan one, but I could be wrong about. I don't know. I mean, again, there's a major battle going on here. We talked about this thing already. I'm still not sure what it is. And yeah, October 10th. So actually, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and put on the subtitles again. I mean, they aren't great. They really aren't. But you know what? It's better than nothing right now, and I don't have a whole lot else. It's gonna give me some idea. So let's run through this again.
母の名に恥じぬ人になってもらいたい。
Okay. So, as I thought, Desler is talking to Sasha about her mother. What exactly it is, I'm not entirely certain. This isn't the greatest translation, but it sounds like something about her mother's legacy. I'm gonna get.
イスカンダル最後の王族として。
無理。そんなし。
So yeah, clearly he's asking her. You need to be doing something, like what your mother did, or there's something in there. And she's saying, I can't. I don't have the qualifications. I'm not worthy of that. Or something like that.
私にはない。
バースの大地は必ず
Yep, as I thought, Captain Ram.
守り抜く目標ガルマン星
was right.
サーシャ・イスカンダル古代歴史をつなぐただ一人の存在
Yep, Sasha Iskandar, single being who inherits ancient history. So obviously, again, when we're talking about the fragments of Iskandar, right, there's only two of them that are in existence. One, of course, is Sasha herself, and the other is the Yamato, because the Yamato has a pure Iskandarium core that was made on Iskandar. All the other ships that have wind motion cores, they're Earth built, so it doesn't do anything. Even Ginga, with her Cosmo reverse system, her engine is still Earth based, so it doesn't help her there.
時の輪の結び目なんだ
人生に近道はない。何を選び取るかは自分。
So this I'm not sure about. Obviously, again, she's upset about something. Whether she's arguing with him about the Bowlers, I'm actually not sure if she is. I think she's talking to him about Darium. He does not like to hear what she has to say about it. Yeah, I don't know.
今互いに信じ合いサーシャと心を重ねられるのは古代さんあなただけですなぜボラーの言いなりになるようなこと
ウラリアの魔女ラリアの魔女
So we heard this before, the Witch of Aurelia, right? That is what Bolar refers to as Darium's mothership. Considering the fact that Darium supposedly appeared at the center of the galaxy in 2205, then it makes sense that Bolar would have their own name for them, because obviously the center of the galaxy is Bolar territory, and they would have encountered them first. So that makes sense to me.
数多くの同胞を犠牲にして得た
So this again sounds like Ram, and there's something going on here with him. Maybe a previous battle that he's talking about that was costly, and he's ordering a subordinate. We can't make this same mistake again.
チャンスだ
You know what? I wonder if that warp out is Legendra, actually.
外すなよラジェンドラ
Red, obviously. It's been through hell, obviously. I haven't seen how Bowler ships warp. So I'm wondering if that's Legendra. If that giant red ship is Legendra. And she warps out at some place and has difficulties, and she's encountered by the Yamato crew. And something ends up happening. I don't know. In the original, there was a sense of comradeship that happened between Captain Ram and Captain Kodai, but I don't know what more is going to happen here. So I'm going to go ahead and offer some of my predictions. So prediction number 1, Yamato is heavily involved with the Gamelons at this point. There's some kind of deal that's made between Desler and Kodai and Yamanami that has Yamato go out on missions with the Gamelons. Presumably, probably they engage the bowlers. They probably help Gamelos take care of the bowlers, and in exchange, Gamelos agrees to help them find a way to defeat Darium. So that would make the most sense to me. Desler, he's a good guy now, but sometimes I can't tell with him. I don't think he would just give Yamato a fleet. But I don't know. And she's got a fleet. She was at the head of that fleet when they sailed out from Galman. See if I can go ahead and pull that up here again somewhere. Here. Oh, come on. Here we go. So you see she's at the head of the column. She's got at least one more escorting vessel with her. She's definitely got 2 submarines on either side of her, presumably to go down into the dimensional faults. So that's interesting, actually. So obviously she's working with the bowler, so there's no question about that. I think, though, my prediction is that she's going to be one of Desler's aces in the hole. I'm not going to say that Desler's going to use her per se, because he's not really that type anymore, but he is going to, I think, expect some kind of payback from Yamato. The next thing I'm going to predict is that Tsubasa somehow manages to get Alphonse on his side, on humanity's side, and or at the very least, he begins to see just how wrong Darium is. The other thing I'm going to predict too, and I don't know if I can actually pull it up here or not because it just goes by so fast. I think I'm going to try. There we go. Is just as Yamato predicted and had feared, we got human zombies, and again, these don't look like normal Darium. Their eyes are glowing. This is very, very clearly that. I mean, and she, of course, is part of that now as well. I don't really need to have very many more predictions of what I already made, but I think the last one, of course, is to reiterate there's going to be some kind of major battle between Gamelos and Bolar. I mean, there has to be at this point. It's very, very clear that things are going to come to a head. Whether Yamato is involved in that or not remains to be seen. I would think that she is. It's actually going to go either one or two ways. Either she's going to be right alongside the Desler with the Gamelons fighting against Bolar, or Gamelos is going to fight Bolar and distract them while Yamato goes off and does something that she needs to do. That's the only 2 options I see for that. In any case, we've only got about, 15 days? Like 2 weeks now left before it comes out. So I'm really, really excited. We're getting to the final countdown. I'm really excited for it. This is going to be wonderful. After this one, you get 3 more chapters. So we're past the halfway point in the series now. So I'm expecting things to really start heating up here. And whatever it is going to be great. One thing I really would like to see more of, though, is more of Yamanami. I really enjoyed his character arc in 2202. We pretty much only barely saw him in 2205. And so I really would like to see more of him in action. You know, we started off in this season with seeing a lot of him, and then he's kind of faded into the background. I really hope they don't kill him off. I really hope they don't, because he is such a character. I absolutely love him. They did a fantastic job fleshing out his backstory, and I really, really, really just want to see him at his best again. You know, I want to see that old captain of the Andromeda come out and be like, you thought I was good with the Andromeda? Watch this. I can kick your ass even harder with Yamato. So that's the way I see it. So those are my predictions. Those are my thoughts. Hope you all enjoyed. And I can hardly wait for chapter 4 to come out in 2 weeks. See you all later.